All right, hello everyone. I'm going to give a minute or so here for anyone that would like to join. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So hello everyone, my name is Anne. I am a senior majoring in apparel merchandising and also minoring in public relations. Right now I am doing community outreach for MGC, so basically I'm planning fall events, specifically recruitment events, as well as running the social medias that you may see. So today I'm going to walk through an overview of the Multicultural Greek Council, as well as how to join and other frequently asked questions that you may have. So feel free to ask any questions along the way, or you can wait to ask them at the end. All right, so to start off, this is a quick overview of the Multicultural Greek community. We're also known as MGC, and we were founded on the basis of diversity, as each of our chapters has an aspect of diversity as part of their mission statement. So our chapters are proud of our commitment in spreading awareness to the different unique backgrounds that each member has in our council. Although our chapters put emphasis on spreading awareness and educating specific identities, we are still welcoming to all, including those that identify with chapter-specific identities, as well as those who don't identify but still want to spread awareness. So we have 8 different chapters, 3 of which are fraternities and 5 are sororities. That include the APITA, Latina, Latino, Latinx, LGBTQIAA+, and multicultural communities. So in the APITA community, we have Delta Phi Lambda Sorority Incorporated and Pi Alpha Phi Fraternity Incorporated. The Latino, Latina, and Latinx groups are Lambda Theta Alpha Latin Sorority Incorporated and Lambda Theta Nu Sorority Incorporated, as well as Lambda Theta Phi Latin Fraternity Incorporated. The LGBTQIAA+ community is Gamma Rho Lambda National Sorority. And to end, we have the 2 multicultural groups, which are Sigma Lambda Beta International Fraternity Incorporated and Sigma Lambda Gamma National Sorority Incorporated. These last 2 now identify as multicultural, but have historically been Latinx. So remember, you can join any of these organizations, even if you don't identify with the org-specific identities that they bring awareness to. All right, so I'll go into why you should join MGC. There is a lot that you can get out of becoming a member of one of our Greek letter organizations. And being an MGC gives you a lot of different benefits, which can include professional skills. So all chapters have executive positions like president, treasurer, secretary, and so on and so forth. You can run for these in the future, and these positions offer a lot of hands-on experience that you can apply to in your future careers. So it's a great way to build your leadership skills. We also really focus a lot on public speaking. I know this is very scary to a lot of people, even including myself, but with recruitment and hosting events and workshops, it really helps you practice those public speaking skills. Next is time management skills. Being in any of our organizations is a time commitment, especially when you are also a full-time student, but we offer many different resources to help you manage your school-life balance. So this help can include academic chairs, providing study sessions and hours to help you with your schoolwork, or you can even be paired with older members that can help guide you on your journey throughout college. We also have scholarships available in some of our chapters for study abroad, as well as tuition help and much more. And of course, you are going to be able to create lifelong bonds at any of our organizations. When you join our orgs, you're creating bonds that will last even after you graduate. These friendships you'll create will provide you a great support group while you're in college and also will help you transition once you graduate. These bonds can also be a way to help you network in your career field as well. So lastly, we also help you understand the different identities that you may hold. Each of our orgs are dedicated to spreading awareness and helping members learn more about the different identities that our chapters highlight. So personally for me, I came from a town that didn't have much diversity, and I didn't get to interact with others that shared my culture and experience, but after I joined MDC, my chapter educated me a lot on Asian American history and guided me to join different Asian orgs on campus that made me love my culture and most importantly myself even more. And I know this holds very true to every single person in MGC. There are so many different identities and cultures involved within the Multicultural Greek Council, so we will definitely be able to find a home for you there. All right, so now let's talk about recruitment. We have, during the beginning of the semester, we host free non-binding events where you can meet all the MGC chapter members. The non-binding basically just means that you are not required to commit to joining any chapter. You can just come to the events just to have fun and meet new people. As well, our council, as well as individual chapters, host recruitment events where you can learn more about our council as a whole and about each chapter individually. So even if you aren't sure about joining MGC, you can still use this opportunity to meet new people at Iowa State and see familiar faces on campus. So then we'll go into Meet the Greeks. Historically, recruitment, this is our most done event in the past. In the past few years, it happens each semester, and it's typically a night where chapters and potential new members have a chance to get to know each other. Chapters will present more about events that they hold and their chapter values, what makes them unique, and a lot more. So you'll get a better understanding of what the Multicultural Greek Council is all about. And the topics are similar to the lives that I have been doing in the past few weeks, but this will actually give you the opportunity to see other different people in MGC, not just me. There's also time towards the end of the event where chapters will talk to you and will give you the time for you to reach out with additional questions that you may have specific to the different chapters. So my advice to you all for Meet the Greeks is to come prepared with questions you may have, as this is your opportunity to make the most out of the event. And our chapters are eager and excited to meet you and to help you, most importantly, so don't be afraid to ask any questions. Now, with this fall semester, we're including a new event called MGC Week. So on top of Meet the Greeks, we will be adding other recruitment events, about 2 to 3 new events, which will include a showcase where you will see our chapters performing steps, strolls, salutes, and more. If you don't know which stepping, strolling, or saluting is, Meet the Greeks and our showcase is a great way for you to learn more about the history of it and actually be able to see it in person. We're still finalizing the plans for MGC Week as of right now, so you can follow us on Instagram at Iowa State MGC and keep watch on our Facebook page, as well as future emails we'll be sending out. I'd also like to add that if you go on to Iowa State MGC on Instagram, we also have all the other chapters' individual Instagram handles on there as well, if you would like to look through them. Now I will go into chapter recruitment. So going back to what I was saying earlier about chapter recruitment, I'll explain a little bit more what this looks like. So each chapter typically hosts their own personal recruitment events that happen at the beginning of the semester. These events can include socials where chapters will collaborate with other chapters within MGC or even the other 3 councils. This can also even include different organizations on campus that aren't Greek lettered. There's also brotherhoods, sisterhoods, or siblings where you will have time to hang out with the current chapter members. This is a little bit more chill and laid back, so it's a really great way to meet them on a personal level. Informational sessions is typically the last, and almost every single chapter has one, where you'll learn more about the individual chapter's intake process and about the chapter in general. So most of our chapters have attendance requirements for their own recruitment weeks, but if you're unable to make events because of scheduling conflicts, please feel free to talk to them directly and they will for sure help you work out alternatives that you can do. Okay, so now that we've gone over recruitment, I'll introduce the intake process to you all. A lot of people have questions when it comes to intake, which is completely understandable because our chapters do intake a little bit differently. Intake is defined as the membership selection process. You'll often hear chapters talk about going through process. The term process is often interchangeable for intake and both mean the same exact thing. After recruitment events that each chapter hosts, there will typically be an interview or application process that you will go through. These interviews are like the ones that you have gone to before in the past to apply for jobs. So it'll be typical questions like, tell me about yourself, what do you feel are your strongest traits, and etc. After that, the active house, aka the current chapter members, will then decide who they want to extend a bid to. If you accept the bid, you will begin your intake process. So things to know about intake is that each chapter has different policies for membership joining, but most of them require an Iowa State GPA, which is usually why intake happens later in the semester. Some of our chapters accept freshmen and graduate students while others do not. This is unique for each chapter, so feel free to reach out and ask any of their members their requirements. Our chapters want to see your dedication to academics and community involvement, so it's a great idea to express your interest in being involved within the Iowa State community. The last thing to know for intake is that the time commitment is equivalent to adding another class on your schedule, but again, it is best to ask individual chapters what their process will look like. All right, so that pretty much ends my MGC overview presentation. I'm open to any questions you may have. If not, I can just answer a few other questions that other people might ask. So I guess one frequent question that I get a lot is people asking me what my favorite part about joining MGC was. And there's just a lot. I think in general, I would say going through my membership presentation. So each chapter typically hosts a presentation to introduce their new members. And this happens after process. And a fun thing to know about the MGC process is that our members' identities are anonymous until they cross and become new members. So that is why the new member presentation happens. This is a great way for different chapters at Iowa State, as well as other neighboring schools, to come and meet the new members of all these chapters. It was very nerve-wracking, but I think it really paid off because it really helped me show others what I learned through my educational process with my chapter specifically. All right. And if there aren't any more questions, I'll just say that you can come visit us at our Instagram page at Iowa State MGC for more information that you may have about our chapters, events, and more. We also have the SFE website for more general information that includes an interest form as well for all 4 of our councils, not just MGC. And last, I'd like to note that I'll be on the SFE Zoom office hours every Thursday, which includes tomorrow, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. to answer any questions that you may have. All right. Here. So I'd like to wrap this all up and say thank you so much for joining us today. I really hope you guys learned a little bit more about the Multicultural Greek Council. And again, thank you so much for your time throughout this presentation. Bye.